So we've got a potential weather window coming up in the next couple of days to move on from Luperon and head towards the eastern Dominican Republic, where we'll stage to cross over to Puerto Rico. We've been doing some grocery shopping because it's easy to get stuff here in Luperon. But one neat thing about shopping in the Dominican Republic is how cheap everything is, and they pick it right. Here's some other vegetables we bought. These are chayote. We've never had those before, but we're going to try them. Something like a squash. And we've got a papaya here. But just to give you an idea, we just bought this giant ripe papaya, the 2 chayote, and the pineapple at the market, and it was $4. Things are really cheap here. You can eat fresh food like it's going out of style and just not have to worry about it. Like in the Bahamas, everything was so expensive. Anytime you eat something, you're thinking, gosh, I got to replace this. But here, things are really, really cheap. Eggs come unrefrigerated and are cheap. All kinds of stuff. We got bananas, some beets.
Everything seems pretty fresh and simple, and yeah.
When shopping in the Dominican Republic, we often had to go to several markets to find the variety of produce that we were looking for. Each market carries different items, and since we were provisioning for almost a week, we wanted to make sure we had the freshest ingredients that we could find.
And it's kind of nice too, where in the U.S. we're reliant on the producers to make everything food safe, and sometimes they fail. Here, everything's just brought in from the field, so it's on each individual to make what they eat food safe. Really is probably the better way to do it. Yeah, all right, that's provisioning in the DR. We've been in Luperon just shy of a month now. It's been a great time here. We've really enjoyed visiting all the places in the Dominican Republic. But now it is time for us to move on. We've got the boat all prepped to leave, the dinghy's up, all the tanks are tied down. But as I mentioned previously, we've got these afternoon sea breeze winds making the trades a little higher than normal. Now it's just a waiting game. Sometime this evening, the winds are going to die down, and that's when we'll take off. It'll be at least an overnight, and we're going to be heading for Rio San Juan. If we make good time and the weather's going good, then we'll continue on to Escondido. Go all the way to Escondido, it'll be an almost 24-hour passage. So we'd leave this evening and get there tomorrow evening. Y'all ready, Lindy?
Yeah.
All right. Lindy's been cooking and prepping and getting us ready with all our pre-passage food supplies so that when we get hungry on the way, we'll just be able to pop out some pasta salad or quinoa salad or any number of things.
Right now we're having a Gouda cheese snack.
All right. Okay. We've probably got at least 2 more hours to wait, maybe 3, and then we'll take off. See y'all then. It's almost 6 o'clock and the winds are really dying, so we're going to give this a try. We've got less than 7 knots of wind right now, and we'll be dropping the mooring momentarily. Okay, Holiday is on the move. Hoping conditions are nice when we get out of the harbor. And we're exiting here into the Atlantic, and we'll be hanging a right and going east along the north coast of the Dominican Republic. Right around that point. It's really not too bad out here. I mean, we can't tell for sure, but we're hoping that it stays at least like this or better. So it's a little like a washing machine currently, but we knew the toughest part was going to be here at the beginning. The nightly is not really taking effect as much as it will later. We've probably got about an hour and a half to 2 hours more of this, and then we'll be able to get behind some wind shadow of some of these capes. And also the nightly will start to take over and bring the winds down and the seas down. It's not the best in the world, but it's not horrible either. I know it could be a lot worse.
Moving east along the north coast of the Dominican Republic is one of the most difficult sections when you are island hopping from Florida into the Caribbean. The main reason is that in this area of the world, the trade winds are constantly blowing for the east and they are almost always strong. And the coastline of the large mountainous Dominican Republic funnels them directly on the nose from where you are trying to go. This wind interaction with the land and shallowing water also creates a short, steep chop that boats must pound into, making for a slow, uncomfortable ride. The only break in this pattern happens with a phenomenon called the night lee. As the sun goes down and the land begins to cool, air tumbles down the mountains toward the sea and creates a mile or so flat calm strip around the coast on some days. Perfect for motoring, but unfortunately not sailing. The capes, or points of land, can also give protection from the wind if you tuck in behind them. However, during daylight hours, these capes accelerate the winds and waves, making rounding them at night one of the highest priorities. There are 5 capes between Luperon and Samana, and we got a little taste of their nastiness leaving too early and rounding this first one before the sunset. The last difficulty of the coast comes with the long distances between not very good anchorages. It's about 30 to 40 hours of travel between the protection and services that you find in Luperon and Samana. In between, you have a rocky cliff-lined coast with only a couple of places that you could stop and anchor in just the best of weather. So you need at least 3 days in a row of light winds and have to hope for no boat or engine troubles along the way. What does all this equal? Get ready for a bunch of nervous nighttime motoring.
We've been underway about 3.5 hours now. It's nighttime, 9:30, and we've finally found a little bit of calmer water and less wind, so that's nice. And we're just moving along. Got Lindy back here at the helm, and we're doing good. Progress is pretty slow. We're probably only going to make it to Rio San Juan before we anchor instead of Escondido, but that's okay. Yeah, I'm about to take me a little nap, and Lindy's got the helm, and then we'll switch after a little bit. We're going by the large city of Puerto Plata, all lit up. Lindy's taking her rest now, and I'm on watch. Motor sailing along. Really, the sail's only up for stability. We're motoring in pretty calm winds. Hopefully the seas continue to lay down through the night. We just had a beautiful moonrise over Sosua, which is the city ahead of us. And we've been out almost 6 hours now. It's getting close to midnight. We've been out here 9 hours now. I just woke up from my nap. It's about 3 o'clock, 3 a.m. It's been a long motor. It looks like we're maybe going to be about an hour shy of making it where we can go on to Escondido and where we'll stop at Rio San Juan. And that hour we lost with those bad conditions at the very start. But that's just the way it goes. Moon's bright still, lighting the way. It's gotten really calm, so the nightly is fully set in now, and we're just going along over these swells. All right, the sun's coming up now. We've been out about 12 hours, and we're approaching Rio San Juan. Got Tonda Tula right next to us, been with us all night. So that beginning did slow us down. We lost an hour, and that was just the hour that we needed to make it around Cape Francis Viejo, which is right here, because you're supposed to get around it by 8 a.m. or the winds kind of really get up on you. So we're going to go into Rio San Juan, anchor for the day, and then we'll leave again at night to take advantage of the light nightly winds, and then we'll head for Escondido. We're about halfway there from Luperon. This was 12 hours, so we've got another 12 to go tonight. And we're going to try to leave a little bit later so we don't have that wind right on the nose with all the chop right when we get going. Oh, finally. Anchor is set. We won't be going ashore here, but looks like a beautiful coastline. Rio San Juan.
Did you see all the palm trees over there?
Sun's rising. Yeah, the coast is just one solid wall of palm trees. Wow, how pretty. And then the mountains right behind it. And then tonight, we'll be heading around Cape Francis Viejo. It's on into the afternoon now. We've taken naps, we've eaten, we're just sitting around relaxing. The winds have picked back up again. Not bad, but you can see there's whitecaps out there. It's kind of interesting. We're in here in between two reefs. The waves are breaking on the reefs right by us on both sides, which is what's keeping this anchorage from being too rolly. Of course, it's a little bouncy, but it's not too bad. But we've got about 5 more hours or so, 6 more hours till we get going again. Just hanging out. You relaxing?
Yep. Trying to rest.
That's it. Waiting for the night to come so we can take off again. We're finishing up dinner. Some of Lindy's pasta salad. The winds are down now as the nightly starts to take effect. Still got an hour and a half to 2 hours before we take off, but it's nice to see the winds going ahead and laying down. We just tried to pull up the anchor and the chain is stuck on something. We're in like 30 feet of water and we've tried driving all around to get it up, but I mean, it is lodged on something good. Our friend Brian on Tondatula has some dive gear and he's going to go down there, thankfully, and look and see what's got it. Otherwise, I think I would just end up waiting until the morning to dive down there. I wouldn't feel like swimming on it at night. And it's a long way down. I can swim that deep, but I don't want to try it right now. You feeling all right, Lindy?
Yeah.
No, you're not.
I'm not feeling okay. Oh, this stuff stresses me out so bad.
I'm stressed out too. We'll figure it out though. We're gonna figure it out.
Worried about staying on schedule in our short weather window, we went about getting our anchor chain unstuck in this remote area of the Dominican Republic.
He's coming back up.
That's the problem.
Okay.
Okay. Chain's cut under.
The anchor chain was wrapped around a huge coral head. Brian got it unwrapped for us. He's a saint for doing that. Well, it feels good to have it up. I bent the bow roller trying to like yank that thing off the bottom. If I would have known it was around the coral head, I would have given up on that idea. But yeah, crazy stuff. Lindy's probably feeling a little bit better, but probably still shook up.
Yeah, a little bit. Take a little bit for the adrenaline to dissipate, but yeah.
Yeah, we're doing well. Another night sail, another beautiful moonrise. After midnight now, we're about 3 miles from Cape Francis Viejo. Got about 10, 11 more hours. We finally got around Cape Francis Viejo. It seemed like it took forever. The winds and the waves were a little higher going around the Cape because that's always the case. The Cape accelerates those. We've been out 6 hours now and we're just motor sailing along through the night in calm weather. The sun should come up soon, so that'll be nice. We're a little more than an hour out from the anchorage now. We can see Cabo Cabron there that we'll be rounding tonight in the middle of the night, maybe like 3 a.m., 4 a.m., something like that. Over here, we have Escondido, kind of tucked back in between these two sets of cliffs. We are anchored. Seems like a scene from a movie or something. Some beaches over here, just in this little cove. This anchorage is a little rolly, but man, is it awesome. We've been hanging out, relaxing here all day, taking naps, just resting, and the sun is set. Now we're just gonna eat a little dinner and then get some sleep. Probably go to bed 7 or 8 o'clock, because in the morning, about 3 a.m., we're gonna get up and leave again and make our way towards Samana. Quite a few other boats came in today. Some going east, some going west. This next leg is not quite as long as the other two, which have taken us about 12 hours. This one's just going to be about 7 hours. So when we leave at 3, we're going to get there about 10 or 11, and we're going to go to a marina. So we're really excited. These passages at night have been a little stressful. We need a little break. We're up. It's 2:20 a.m. We're planning on anchors up at 3 a.m. It's been rocky in this anchorage the whole time, but it's been a beautiful place to be. There's Lindy over here. Always ready to go, Lindy, the super trooper. We've rounded Cabo Cabron. Sun's starting to rise. Next will be Cabo Samana. There's Lindy. See Cabo Cabron behind us. And then here's Cabo Samana. Sun should come up any moment now. Always makes you smile when you're sailing at night, and then that sun comes up. All right.
Cape Samana is the final of the 5 capes, and after rounding it, we'd be heading south and then west, finally allowing us to sail for a short time, which was a good thing because the engine was starting to act up, unexplainably surging every few seconds.
28 hours of solid motoring, and finally we've got the engine off and we're sailing. We just rounded Cape Samana, and we're sailing towards Samana. Oh, that's a pretty sight. Got Tondatula behind us, sails up as well. Awesome. are almost there. We're in the Bay of Samana, and just in that cove is the city, Samana, and then we will be going just past it a couple of miles to a marina up here. And we can't get there quick enough. I am about tired of all this passage making, with mostly motoring and very little sailing. Just 20 more minutes, we're making our approach. Yes!
As we passed by the city of Samana, we were excited to get some rest at the marina and also take some time to do some more land travel in the beautiful country of the Dominican Republic.
We made it! I cannot believe that we're finally here. The north coast of the DR was a really, really, really long, difficult area to get through. But we made it. We're here in Samana at Marina Puerto Bahia. And we just checked in and took a tour, and this place is off the chain nice. There's 2 infinity pools, there's workout rooms. It's like a resort, and it's $1 a foot. And for the people that aren't on boats, that's cheap. So we're really excited to be here. And I wasn't a question. We went ahead and paid for a week because I need a break. How about you, Lindy? You are not going to believe this place. It is super duper nice.
Stay tuned for our next episode, where we explore the Samana Peninsula, enjoy a beautiful marina, and get ready for our crossing to Puerto Rico.